Hey everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is Carolina basketball, the Tar Heels and the portal, which closed at 11:59 Tuesday night. Only one player that could have gone to the portal and stayed in the portal actually did for North Carolina. Seth Trimble, of course, went in. And then he came out, went back to North Carolina, and he is among the 6 players that we're going to kind of highlight here in this drop. We'll talk about what North Carolina has coming back for sure among scholarship players, which is pretty considerable. When you think about the fact that Trimble was out and came back in, when you think about the fact that RJ Davis had the option of leaving, going pro, the fact that those two are back, and they join Elliot Cadeau and Jalen Withers and Jalen Washington and Zayden High, I would say that North Carolina's got a really solid nucleus. We already know Hubert Davis has added one piece. He will most certainly, I think, add another piece, a big. And then you'll be looking, and then, of course, they bring in the 3 freshmen next year, Ian Jackson, Drake Powell, and James Brown. So that's a pretty good roster. But we're going to focus on these 6 because I think it's really important to note that in a time when guys are moving all over the place, I don't even know how many, it's like 1,850 players in the portal for basketball. It's around 40 some odd percent of the scholarship players went into the portal. North Carolina lost just one, James Okonkwo, who committed with Akron in the Mid-America Conference. All right, so what does Carolina have coming back? Everybody knows RJ. Everybody knows he's ACC Player of the Year. He scored 784 points this past season. He's now 784 away from Tyler Hansbrough to tie him for the all-time Carolina lead. Whether or not he gets that 5th-year asterisk, we'll get into that at another time. Bottom line, that's the reality. With Cadeau and Trimble, Withers, Washington, and Zayden High, you got to throw them in there. Here's the breakdown of what Carolina has back. I'm going to throw a bunch of numbers at you. I know sometimes people say, man, listening to numbers are a lot more boring than reading them. Well, we're going to have a piece with even more numbers coming out perhaps today or maybe Friday with a complete breakdown of what Carolina has back for sure for next season. All right, minutes played. How about 3,642 minutes played? That's 49.1% of the minutes from this past season back. Harrison Ingram left, Armando Bacot left, Cormac Ryan, and Paxson Wojcik gone. Okonkwo only played 44 minutes, so he wouldn't impact that really at all. Points. 1,542 points. That equals 50.9% of Carolina's scoring is back. Assists, 342. 63.8% of Carolina's assists are back. Quick side note, I'm not putting rebounding in here. I'm going to factor it out. It will be in the article, but they lost a ton of rebounding. They need more rebounding back. And that was addressed a little bit with Cade Tyson, and it will certainly be addressed with whatever big they likely bring in. All right. Field goals made. They have 536 field goals made back. That's 51.2%. And they have 50.6% of the shots. More important, 51.2% of the made field goals back, with a combined shooting percentage of 45.6%. So I know that's a lot of numbers, so I'll go back. 51.2% of the made field goals from this past year's team are back, and they shot a combined 45.6% from the field. With three-pointers, 49.2% of the made three-pointers from this past year are back. Of course, most of that's RJ. He had 113 makes. That's 30, and collectively, these 6 guys shot 36% from 3. Remember, they're adding Cade Tyson, who shot 46.5% at Belmont last year. Okay, but again, this is a focus is who's back. Now, free throws. This is a very interesting stat as well. 52.1% of the made free throws are back. 52.3% of the attempted free throws are back. That's important too, because Jalen Withers has a high free throw attempted rate stat when you look at the minutes played. You get Jalen Withers more minutes next year, he's going to draw a lot of fouls, he can get to the line, and he's a pretty solid free throw shooter. He can improve, but he's not terrible. Collectively, this group was 333 for 440. That's 75.7%. So the group returning, they made 536 field goals, 45.6% from the field. The group returning, they made 148 threes, 36% from three-point range coming back. The group returning, they made 333 free throws, 75.7% from the free throw line. They get 49.1% of the minutes, 50.9% of the points, and 63.8% of the assists. We're going to mince this stuff a lot. We're going to be doing these drops throughout the off season. We got football stuff to get into, a lot more basketball stuff to get into. We are going to tunnel to the center of the earth in written articles and with a lot of that stuff in these different podcasts and drops about Carolina's numbers. But the first wave of that, I thought it'd be very interesting to throw that out there. If you look across the country, there are a lot of teams that are even close to that. Kentucky doesn't have anybody back. I mean, they're rebuilding everything from scratch, which is wild. Carolina's got a solid nucleus of a group that was a number one seed, of a group that won the ACC regular season by multiple games. And let's remember about this group. It's not just RJ. It's not just Elliott being the freshman point guard who should improve. Jalen Withers' best basketball, last 8 games of the season. Seth Trimble played very well late in the season. Jalen Washington, highly efficient late in the season. By the way, he shot 70% from the floor all year, but he was better late in the season. So you have 5 guys back that impacted important games late in the season for a team that won the ACC by 2 games and was a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. That's pretty good. If you're a Carolina fan, you should feel really good about what's back. You should feel very excited about what's already been added in Cade Tyson. And I'm talking with Cade Tyson Thursday afternoon, probably after this podcast is released. And we'll have a full interview with him. And what else the Tar Heels might add, plus the 3 freshmen coming in. You should feel really good. Carolina's in a good situation. Even if nobody else is added, it's still going to be a very good team. If a good big is added, you're talking, if everyone's going to have Duke pick number 1, that's fine. This club is right there. This will be a Final Four caliber club. So, hell of a nucleus. 6 coming back. If you're excited about the 6 coming back, if you're excited about the fact that there's a wonderful foundation and a lot of older guys still in the program, even with the influx of some young guys and a couple of dudes coming from other programs, if that excites you, this nucleus, click like on this video. If it excites you and you've not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And it's often. And as I said a few minutes ago, man, we're going to keep this rolling. We constantly have new, fresh content every day of the year, including all holidays. And we're not going to take a huge break this offseason. We're going to be rolling stuff out. And by the way, I got David Sisk coming on next week for a couple of podcasts about the portal. And also, David was in Memphis last weekend watching some big-time prospects Carolina's going after. He's in Birmingham this weekend doing the same thing. So we'll talk about that as well. Make sure you share this with all of your Carolina friends. Let them know we're here. Let them know that we are cranking it out, because not enough people know about THI, not just our channel, but also our website, TarHeelIllustrated.com, which is just $8.33 a month for a premium subscription. for a 1-year premium subscription, and you get a crap load of content on there. Anyway, I'm AJ. Appreciate y'all stopping by.